right. All right, we ready. Y'all ready? I'm ready to go. Boy Carcino here. Let's get into it. Want to say thank everybody that supported the last live stream. You know, y'all always, getting everything first. Never last. Get it early, never late. That's right. You rolling with Carcino the Great. No mistakes. They're having a hard time getting everybody in here. I'm seeing it right now. Don't forget to hit the like button up so they can know you're not a bot. We don't do bots over here. Seeing a whole lot of new people, so I know they're not really doing what they're supposed to do. Messing around with the notifications. All right, hit it up, hit that like button up. So we can get going. What's up, Q? Yeah, I was supposed to do gonna do a panel for WWE. That's what I was supposed to do. Then all of this noise started happening, and I was like, well, all right, that's to the side. We got to tackle this. Now, let's get to it. When Shannon Sharpe was having problems with Skip Bayless, the person that came weaseling out the grass was Stephen A. Smith, trying to contact Shannon Sharpe. Him and Shannon Sharpe had no relationship whatsoever. They didn't hate each other, they just had no relationship. He appeared on ESPN's First Take before. They did a segment over there, and that was basically it. Shannon was a lot more quieter and pleasant. He wasn't the personality he was. He wasn't Uncle Shannon, right? Then he moves over with Skip Bayless and does Undisputed. Shannon Sharpe was a hit from day one. He clearly held his own and was doing better than Stephen A. Smith. And in many people's opinions, Stephen A. Smith became jealous. He was jealous that everybody was, look at that, Shannon, the new guy, he just walks in, and that, we've been number one. I'm not doubting Shannon Sharpe or nothing he's done. I'm not taking nothing from him. I'm just saying, I ain't lost nothing, brother. I ain't backing down from nobody. So, that's how he was coming. Like, we coming. And him and Max Kellerman were getting crushed. He knew it. That's why he wanted Max gone. So when Skip and Shannon started having their problems, Stephen A. weaseled in like the snake out of the grass. Hey, brother, I just want to make sure you're all right. Hey, I know that man. And when that man talks like that, oh, you never coming back. Like, I've worked with that man. I know. It's over. So, when you hear certain people say things that just usually don't make a lot of sense, you just start adding your 2 cents to it, and then it goes from there. Stephen A. end up getting with Shannon Sharpe, making a video. See, here's the thing first. When he talked to Stephen A., he told him, hey, the bosses of ESPN to get you here. And Uncle Shay was crushing it. They see the numbers. They saw what he did. So to get Shannon Sharpe, oh, that was going to be massive. So they went into talking with the... What are they doing to my video? That don't make no sense. That's crazy. That is crazy. Now, let's get to why we're here, shall we? So now, Stephen A. Smith I don't know what part you cut off on. What part did we leave off on, Outlaw? Outlaw, what part did it leave off on? Oh man, that was a while ago. So anyway, he was saying to Jimmy Pitaro and all of them, look, I know I'm not the boss, but I want him. I want Shannon Shar. So he went on a diatribe talking about he coming in. So Jimmy Pitaro and all of those guys went and got him. They went and got Shannon Sharpe. They brought Shannon Sharpe on the team. And everybody was all happy and clapping hands and woo, we got Shannon. So Shannon Sharpe comes on there. They run like a drill sergeant thing. Now, before that even happened, though, Shannon Sharpe, he broke the news on his show. He kept wanting to go on his show to break the news. After saying and admitting that Shannon Sharpe was having problems and they got rid of Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe was like, look, it was a mutual thing, and he was letting that be the narrative. Stephen A. wanted to break the news that Fox got rid of him. And he the one that saved him. He wanted that narrative to be out there. Which it was for a long period of time. then everything started to change. I mean, everything started to change. Soon as that narrative was out there, which Shannon Sharpe didn't want out there at all. Soon as that happened, everybody's ideals started to switch, right? So once that happened, people started to complain that was shiesty for him to do. And when he was going to break the announcement Shannon was coming to ESPN, they hadn't even agreed on a deal yet. And then Shannon came out and said, well, if whatever Stephen A. say, that's what it is. If Stephen A. say that's the deal, then that's what the deal is. So that's how they played it. Yeah, for the longest period of time, that's how they played it. So it became some real foul work because everyone who was involved saw what was happening. Nobody did anything. They didn't lift a finger. They all played their roles. They sat back and they act like they didn't know what was going on. So did it flip? Yeah, it flipped. Because now he's at ESPN, the numbers is doing well, and then what happened? He has a blow up. He starts banging the table. He says, skip on the show. Damn! Boom, boom! Because that was the second day in a row he didn't did it. And it was like, it's okay. Calm down. Because see, Shannon had to go to New York to film these shows. So when Shannon went to New York to film the shows, everybody out there who saw and heard what was happening, they was stunned because they didn't know how to take the situation at hand. Because what you didn't know is he was having blow-ups before this in the locker room. I mean, not the locker room, but the dressing room. Things wasn't right. They didn't have this right, and he's not used to this. He just want to get everything right, and he's frustrated. He's like, I don't want to make no mistakes. I want y'all to be proud of me. I want y'all to, like, he really wanted to make Stephen A. proud. He wanted them to be like, hey, we got the right guy. We got the winner. They gave up on the winner. So he would sit in the studio for about the 2 days he was there, because that was the agreement. He only worked 2 days a week. So he'd fly in to New York for those 2 days, do his show, then he'd go back home. And that was it. So they were fine. Everything seemed to be going well. Then when they had a problem, there they go. So when they came with all this nonsense, right? With all this buffering and all this going on, everybody saw what was happening and was saying, hey, this is crazy, bro. This is mad crazy. So they had a falling out because Shannon Sharpe said something on Nightcap and Molly thought it was in reference to her, which it was. But it was to build up the momentum on the show, like he was trying to be Shannon Sharpe. Molly Curran did not like Shannon Sharpe's aggressiveness. She didn't like his tone. She didn't like any of that. So it continued to be a problem. when it shouldn't have been a problem, right? This should just been another night of nothingness, but it ended up being a problem. Now you start to say, well, why would it be a problem? Because see, Shannon Sharpe and Molly didn't get along. A lot of y'all didn't know that. He didn't have any correspondence with Molly. They really weren't best of friends. They didn't get along. It was crazy on the set. So it got to the point where Shannon Sharpe made a remark that didn't make a lot of sense to everybody else. Like, he made a remark about, I think you should he said something like, I think you should he said something like he said something crazy to Shannon Sharpe. Like, I think you should like Shannon Sharpe said something to Molly. They were live on a set. And she asked him, did he get a feeling? He said, yeah, I get a feeling, but then I get in the shower. When I get a feeling, yeah, I got to get in the shower. And on the show, and then Stephen A walked off, and everybody laughed. They thought it was funny, but it appeared to be funny. But on first take, while they live at a college show, that didn't go off well. Then Molly seemed to have her moods, like she wasn't happy. Plus, she was in a contract renegotiation. So she really was not happy about the situation that Shannon Sharpe was getting an extension, before they even dealt with her situation. So Shannon gets this extension. That really put her in a foul-like mood. She wasn't really, the Molly she should have been. She was crabby certain days, and just, it got to the point where Shannon Sharpe wasn't coming into the studio at all anymore. It was like, Shannon's not coming in no more. So for the 2 days, when they renegotiated the contract, Shannon wasn't coming in no more. If y'all noticed, Shannon was not live with them almost never. No more. Everything was video. Y'all didn't notice that? He wasn't in the studio at all no more. Everything, like if they have a travel thing he got to do when everybody's there, then he'll appear. But other than that, he was at the crib in California in the studio. Shannon was not on the set. Thank you. Hit the like button. Yeah, he stopped coming in because of all of the headaches, all of the problems. And mainly, when he was really ticked off, is when they messed up his makeup. And they made him look all old. he looked like he was getting dressed for the corpse. And he felt they did that on purpose. It was a new makeup lady who came in and did it. And they had Shannon Sharpe, and he tried to tell the lady that that was too much makeup. And everybody roasted him on social media. He became the laughing stock, and he kind of think they did it on purpose. And, that's when he was, I don't need no makeup. He was real mad about that. He's a real prideful person. And once they went and messed up, they had the new makeup lady come there and dress him up that way. And his makeup, it was, what's going on with Unc today and his makeup? I mean, it was so noticeable that it was funny. That was the thing about it. It was so noticeable, it was funny. Yeah, that was crazy. Like I said, it was so noticeable, it was funny. And that would be the lasting picture of Shannon Sharpe since he hasn't been there. So now, after all of this is going on, right, Stephen A is mimicking everything off of Shannon Sharpe. He's stealing everything. He's trying to build his show up because Club Shay Shay and now he got Nightcap. They thriving shows. Chad Ochocinco wanted to come on the show and work on ESPN so bad. Like, bro, let me get up there on first take the show. And he ends up getting Shannon Sharpe and Nightcap finna be the biggest thing in the world. Stephen A trying to poach him now to come over there on first take. Now he want to try to pull him from Shannon Sharpe and put him on first take. It's like, come on. Really? It's a low down, dirty move, man. It's a low down, dirty move. That's a down, dirty move. Now, when Shannon is basically going through his problems with ESPN, right, over the situation, Stephen A he didn't even bite his tongue. He couldn't wait to talk about it on his Stephen A. Smith show. Now he done created a media company just like Shannon Sharpe. Now he calling it I'm like, really? Stephen A. Smith Media? Really? That's where we at with it? That's some nasty work right there, boy. Stephen A. Smith Media. That's what he's at now. Like, you want to be like Shay Shay Media, now you Stephen A. Smith Media, right? Copycat all the way. So now he wants to build a big studio. He wants to do everything like him. He was like, if Shannon Sharpe can do it, I'ma do it. So he builds this big platform. Now everybody's talking. They're sitting down talking about what they're gonna get going like next week and all of this and that. And he's talking about Shannon Sharpe and the situation and how bad it looks. Shannon's my brother, but I don't know. If it was up to me, you know, I'm backing my brother all the way. But he wanted to speak on the issue, where Shannon Sharpe don't speak on the issue. When it comes to his boys, he'll stay quiet. He don't say nothing. And he just would prefer the same courtesy. But Stephen A. kept talking about the situation with Shannon Sharpe and then how it didn't look good, and you know, code of conduct, and ESPN's got the rule, and there's Walt Disney, and he was like, dude, where's the support? You know, pay me the same homage I'm paying you. If I don't talk about it with your thing, you know, it should go both ways. And I don't see it going both ways, brother. That's what everybody was talking about when it comes to Stephen A. It was one-sided, bro. Completely one-sided. Everybody saw the situation for what it was. And it was just a work relationship. And that's how Shannon kept it. Like, we work buddies. He was like, I got to know him a little bit better now, but it's work buddies. That ain't my friend I'm down the line with. That's a work buddy. Well, there's a main problem. And the main problem, well, the answer considers to be a question. It continues to be a question. Right, he did the same thing with Jalen Rose. That's why Jalen Rose don't respect him. A lot of people just don't respect the guy. He lost a lot of people's love. He lost a lot of people's respect. It's just what it is. I mean, there's a countless spot for people that just like don't get it and they're stuck in their ways. It's just it's a monumental effect, and people just have to understand that it's bigger than what they know. It's bigger than what you can imagine. It's bigger than what you can see and what you can conceive, like when people deceive you. And it's just at a time, he wished people would have, been quiet. But all of these rumblings about the women did not want Shannon Sharpe to still work there while all this was going on. And it was like Shannon really didn't have his back. Everybody was there. He kept saying it, but he really wasn't in the place he should have. Like Stephen A could have been shutting a lot of stuff down that he allowed to continuously go on, while he was there. And that, to everybody, that's problematic, So when you see something problematic, you want the problem resolved as quickly as possible. And when something becomes problematic, that's normally how it works. Like you, Stephen A, it's your show. First Take is your show. If you hear people, women, and all that going off, you're supposed to say, hey, that's our brother. He work here. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have his back. And then we'll go from there. That's how it's supposed to go. It's not supposed to go any other way. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to go any other way. That was it. So Shannon Sharpe right now, he's like watching everybody take shots at him. And then you see Stephen A continues to to take shots at him or take jabs at him in the dark. He's on his show and he's continuously poking at him. But then you try to take Ocho and put Ocho on First Take. You want Ocho Cinco to be on First Take, knowing he's doing nightcap. Now, Ocho's like, I can do both. But Shannon was like, now, when he was there, when we was on the show, and he was trying to get on the show, and y'all had him like guest on there as a guest, You wasn't talking about bringing Ocho on the show. Ocho was begging to come on there and do both. Now, the moment I'm gone, you want to take Ocho and replace me with Ocho Cinco. And you didn't even ask me and say, "Hey, man, like I'm gonna try to get Ocho now. I know that ESPN decided they ain't bringing you back. I'm sad about that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna try to get Ocho. Come to do the show, right? You didn't have the wherewithal." Right? To even bring that up. I don't even know what's wrong with a lot of these people. And the reason why is because it just don't make sense. Because in a lot of ways, what you're seeing don't really, amount up to a hill of beans. Serious, me. I'm serious, man. I'm serious, though. I'm serious, dead serious. These guys will lie, cheat, and steal before they tell you the truth. Stephen A has done nothing but copy everything Shannon Sharpe has done, try to mimic every move he's made, and try to create the formula. Now he wants to work with Ocho and want to use Ocho Cinco to boost him up. So when you see Ocho with Shannon, you're going to think Stephen A. Smith. And he got $100 million deal, right? So he's made it. It's like, dog, you made it. You got your $100 million. You played yourself against Pat McAfee and made yourself inexposable. Like, I'm going to start this beef with Pat McAfee and start this black man versus white man thing. You want to play the black card when it fits you. That's what you want to do. Whenever it fits you to be black, that's when it's okay to use the race card. Because you was mad Pat McAfee did it the way you should have did it. He came through the door and didn't have to deal with brass tacks. He answers only to the big bosses. He don't have to answer to all of the ESPN bosses. And he can dish y'all if he wanted to. Then they was like, come bringing him in on Wednesday nights to be the lead in to his show. And they was like, this guy comes in, he don't even have to wear a suit and tie. You mad about his attire, dog? For real? Where they do that at? You mad about what he's wearing? That don't even make sense. Man, there's so many different waves of just nonsense. Man, we were sitting there and it was just craziness. People pouring in with their support, talking about, man, this is dirty how they did Shannon, but Shannon did himself dirty to get himself removed. So Stephen A is just like, well, ain't my problem. But that's just show you what kind of, just snake he is. He used Shannon Sharpe. He was just there to poach off of him. He just wanted him on there. He was like, I want your talent. I want to make money off you. It's going to work out for the both of us. So Shannon got on ESPN and It didn't work out because of his lifestyle. And, it's karma. Karma comes back to get you. Shannon thought he was bigger and larger than life. He was taking shots at Kwame Brown. He was doing a whole bunch of craziness. And now, look what happened. With somebody like Stephen A. Smith who know how to play the game. See, that's why he want people like Gilbert Arenas. Talking about Gilbert is smart. Really? that shows your lack of judgment in people. Because you picked wrong. Don't get mad at everybody because you picked wrong and got Gilbert out there. Gilbert is out there messing it up. Getting caught in a federal indictment, and you picked him and brought him on ESPN, trying to put him on a show with you guys. Yeah, you reached out and did all that. I'd love to help my brothers. No, because he's just like you. He gonna suckle to the power teat. So while he's suckling, you're sitting there going, oh man, he respects it. You and Michael Wilbon, two beta males. You gotta learn to play the game. No, I don't have to learn to play the game. I don't give a F about your game. How about that? You see, that's where the differences come in. Some people choose and make their own destiny. They don't care about what everybody else is aspiring to be and go. They don't want that. They don't want that responsibility. They don't want the headache. They don't want none of that. You saw a lot of these podcast shows blow up. Blow up from money. Because they were hot for a couple of years and people get tired of them. And then they go listen to some new people who come out. Now, Carmelo Anthony got the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn or whatever that kicked off. And now everybody's watching, they go over there and get the Carmelo Anthony podcast. They hearing some new stories from him. So everybody else start getting secondary. Now, Joe Budden has been making a killing mostly off of his Patreon stuff. But other than that, nobody's checking for him. Like really, in the real walk of things, the Joe Budden podcast is like, for real? Who's checking for that? Nobody I know even listens to them. It's that pod is so dead. It's like, huh? People would listen to that still? And that's what's crazy to me, because I'm like, they don't even talk about anything anymore. I see Roy and Maul at least attempt to talk about some things that's going on, but them, they just spiraling in the wind. And it gets repetitive at times. So you once again, it's like you spinning the block, right? You spinning the block and you got all of these people yeah. It's a lot of people that got played, bro. I ain't gonna even front. It's a lot of them that got played. Straight up and down, they got played, bro. They don't even be having guests up there like that no more on the Joe Budden podcast. It's got to be a one day of the week. There's be some special person and it be some big name that you don't even care about. They ain't had, like, Joy Taylor has been on like everybody's platform for what? I have no idea. It's like, what are you selling, babe? What are you putting out? Like, what do you have to say? Right, you start bringing people in like Lamont Hill, all of that. Joy? Yeah, well, that's just it. You know, let's see if Stephen A. Smith go and grab Joy Taylor and bring her on the show. Let's see if Stephen A. Smith gonna stop calling the authorities on people. Let's see if he gonna stop that. You know, he went ahead and called yeah, he went over there and had Kwame Brown video taken down talking about harassing and bullying. I'm like, harassing and bullying, dog? For real? Where was this harassing and bullying when you sitting over there making videos about LeBron James? Then you harassing and bullying LeBron, Stephen A? Don't talk it if you can't take it when it gets dished back to you. You ain't no straight shooter. Where's the harassing and bullying from Jason Whitlock? Where's the harassment and bullying there? So now Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith ain't really cool like that. Be like, I thought we were cool de la, man. We ain't cool de la. Nah, we ain't cool de la. See, the devil is in the details, baby. They not cool de la. Not with you. The devil is in those details. They ain't cool with you, bruh. Now, you get the Derek dude and about 5 other Dereks and see where they want to go. You see they ain't on nothing. Stephen A. created a whole gumbo pot over there. And he used that as an opportunity to try to bully Michelle Obama. Her comment, the comment he made about her ain't had nothing to do with the subject whatsoever. And we showed that. So, if what you saying ain't got nothing to do with the subject matter whatsoever, then what's your point? You trying to make a political point because you trying to make a political run. See, let me tell you what's going to happen at First Take. Stephen A. trying to get off of First Take. And what he want to do is executively produce it and not be on the show no more. He'll be there in a limited capacity. And he wants to put other people on the show and run it while he go off and do some damn talk political show and be free to do all that. That's what he want to do. He want to get his Don Lemon on. So that's what he really want to do. He want to get his Don Lemon on. He want to go on that thing. So he don't even want to be on First Take no more, really. He know the show is shit. So what he wants to do is be there in limited fashion. He wants to get other people to be on First Take and get them popping, so that, because that Kimberly, whatever her name is, she was started to suck for real, and everybody saw like she really ain't on nothing. So they got her up out of there. She be on there, maybe. I haven't seen her in a while. That Kimberly Martin, they got her up out of there. So now he's finna get up out of there so he can go do a political show. And he trying to use Michelle Obama as the gas for him to drop some political quotes till he get his political show up. So he could dip off First Take and then put somebody else there in his place to run it, and he pop up sparingly. That's what he was trying to work toward. See, I know the whole thing going down. Yeah, because it's more like a variety show now. It was just like everybody got an opinion. It's not even a debate show no more. Stephen A. Smith just screams at people all day now and go through his shtick. And he don't even give a damn about the subject matter. He don't even give a damn about the game. He in there playing solitary as the game going on. He has no insight. He's just a hack. He's con man. All he does is pretend like he knows something. It's like Will Burn. Will Burn don't know a damn thing about basketball. So he just pretends to do. He gets up there and say the dumbest stuff I've ever heard in my life. They get to Mike Wilburn. Let's see what Mike has to say. Now, Mike Tirico, that's somebody who's good at what he does. Wilburn get up there and be like, come on, Wilburn, what's going on, Wilburn? What you got? They was like, Wilburn go up there. Well, I want to see who really wants it in the third quarter. I want to see if Milwaukee really wants it. You know, they got to make that decision. Giannis has got to say, I want it. You know, who's going to take that challenge? I want to know who's going to do that. You know, I want to see energy. I want to see connected. You know, to get connected, I want to see Giannis be that leader. This is the time. He needs to go up to every one of the guys and say, look, this is it. This is how it's going down. We needed to go down like that. Wilburn be talking about a bunch of nothing. They're going to be like, well, I don't think he really needs to do that at halftime. They're up by 17. I mean, but you know, this team can come back at any time. So he's got to make up his mind. This is what he want to do, Stephen A. Yeah, you right, Mike. Yeah, you can't get comfortable with this team. So he's right. At halftime, that's what Giannis needs to do. Oh, man, it'd be crazy as hell. So that's why I told you, I don't be thinking about them one bit. So, yeah, man. So shouts out to Kwame Brown. Shouts out to Too Raw for TV. Go on my Patreon, man. Sign up. Join my Carsino for Life Patreon, man. We're gonna be doing a whole bunch of stuff on there, man. We're gonna be celebrating. We're gonna be kicking it. Man, it's gonna be going down. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Definitely. What's up, Outlaw? I see you. Hey, go ahead, man. We're going to be celebrating. It's going to be all peace and love over there. Kicking it in. We're going to be discussing business. Whole bunch of stuff. And I'm out.